Hello there, I'm the Star Wars guy coming at you with a quick video today. The latest episode from Season 2 of The Mandalorian was released mere hours ago, and I'm sharing some of my thoughts on it right now. Now, if you haven't seen the episode and you're worried about spoilers, turn this off now and come back later. Now, we open with Mando on his swoop bike racing through the desert with a small group of what appear to be fellow bounty hunters setting a trap for him. These guys are clearly professionals, and Mando is totally caught off guard. However, as usual, he comes out on top and finds another unique way to vanquish his foes, this time death by jetpack. But now the poor guy has to hoof it through the desert, on foot, back to the city. But when he does finally make it back in the city, he catches up with Peli, whose gambling partner tells of a contact that has a lead on some Mandalorians. This passenger will help Mando if he can transport her to her star system. She says her husband has seen the Mandos. Honestly, at this point, I think Mando is looking a little gullible because it seems clear to me that these people are totally unsure about their connection to the Mandalorians. And once again, one of the things I love about this show is the attention and care given to the little details. Yet another example of this is our group cooking the crate dragon meat by the heat from a pod racer engine, and perhaps even more importantly, learning that Rhodians prefer their meat well done. But at any rate, we're finally leaving Tatooine. But of course, there's a catch. They can't jump to hyperspace, or the passengers' precious cargo will be toast. So they have to travel sublight, which means pirates, warlords, and a whole host of other potential problems. This arrangement is further complicated by the total breakdown in communication between Mando and the passenger. He cannot understand a word she's saying. The child is quite taken with the passenger's eggs, and they quickly become one of his favorite snacks, much to Din's chagrin. Suddenly, a duo of X-Wings appear and are quite curious as to what Mando is doing in their system. Pilots Wolf and Carson question Mando about his credentials, and when we get a close-up of the pilots, we see that none other than Dave Filoni has made another cameo in The Mandalorian. We learn that we're in New Republic jurisdiction, and their job is to confirm that he's not Imperial. Interestingly enough, their line of questioning and accusatory tone feels very similar to what the Empire did in their heyday. As we so often see, the Imperial power vacuum has now been filled by the New Republic, and here we get a small glimpse that they may not actually be any better than the Empire. The turning point in their questions is asking if the Razor Crest was at New Republic Correctional Transport Bothan 5. This is a clear callback to episode 6 of season 1 entitled The Prisoner, and of course Mando was there, so they move into attack formation and Mando is on the run. Here we get a really nice action flight sequence in an episode that otherwise doesn't have a ton of action. Now, Mando does manage to pull some neat piloting tricks to escape the X-Wing, namely, he enters the crest into total free fall. After narrowly escaping his pursuers, the crest makes a rough landing and appears to be safe for the moment. Now, the passenger interrupts a rare moment of respite to communicate with Mando via the droid's vocabulator. This shows that she's smart and apparently quite tech-savvy. I'm interested to see if and how her skills and backstory tie in with the rest of this season. Now, she calls Mando out on going back on his deal and makes him stick to his word. So he heads back outside to repair the ship, and while he's working, the child makes Mando aware that the passenger has actually walked away. Now, we get a nice helmet point of view shot where we see that Mando can actually see the tracks of his prey. I'm sure this comes in very handy for a bounty hunter. When they finally track her down, she's simply taking a relaxing bath in the hot spring of an ice cave. What could go wrong? Enter the child. He's constantly causing total mayhem through his childish innocence, and once again, here, he's getting into trouble. Apparently eggs are this little guy's favorite food because now he's eating what appears to be a spider from an egg on the cave floor. This causes a chain reaction in which apparently every spider in the cave wakes up and wants revenge. This next sequence is not for the arachnophobic. We get our third and final action sequence of the episode as our trio try to escape the cave back to the Razor Crest while under attack from thousands of spiders. Mando is using every weapon he possibly can. Blasters, flamethrower, and sticky bombs all make an appearance, but the spiders simply don't let up. There's just so many of them. But the biggest threat by far is the massive Mother. Those sticky bombs come in handy to cave in the walls on her so they can get a second to escape. But back on the Razor Crest, they're all over the hull and the interior of the ship. The only safe place they can get to is the cockpit, but some of them manage to get in there too. The child comes under attack by a spider, but the passenger comes to the rescue with a holdout blaster. Has she had this whole time, or is this something she found in the cockpit? Either way, she proves her resourcefulness once again, and I'm willing to bet there's more to this character than we know right now. The whole time I kept thinking that the flamethrower would be the most effective weapon, against the slew of little spiders, and Mando seems to come to the same conclusion. As he's trying to seal off the cockpit. And just when we think we're safe and our heroes have made their escape, who should return but the Spider Mother? And she's none too happy about them taking off. We thought she was big before, but a nice establishing shot shows us that she's literally the size of the Razor Crest, and her eyes are terribly creepy. In true Star Wars fashion, our heroes are saved by an unknown party who blast the Mother and all the other spiders off the hull. Outside, we learn it's Wolf and Carson. They're back. Now, they should arrest Mando, but they don't, saying, "These are trying times," and referencing some of the good deeds that Mando has performed. As they take their leave, Mando's plan is to fix up the cockpit enough to get them to their final destination. Now, this episode feels a lot like filler to me at this point, but we have seen enough of this show to know that it will most likely all tie itself together in the end, and all of these little details we learn in this kind of episode usually add up to give us a great cumulative character portrayal of The Mandalorian. Well, that's all for me today. What did you think of Season 2, Episode 2 of The Mandalorian? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm the Star Wars Guy. Please subscribe below for more Star Wars content every single day, and I will see you in the next video.